Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pizza Motorcast. Your host, Dave here. I got online with me special guest, Michael Halstead. How you doing, Michael?
Pretty good. How are you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm good. How's the weather out there in Cali?
It was looking pretty good today. It was a beautiful day, and all the clouds are starting to come in, kind of all around surrounding the area right now. Just praying it's going to be good this weekend.
Yeah, I saw someone saying, I think it was Deborah Ousley saying that you guys might get some rain this weekend up there.
Yeah, the weathermen, they can't get it right. So they say there's rain Thursday, then they say there's no rain, then they say there's rain on Thursday and Friday, then they say there's no rain, and then now it's supposed to rain Friday and Saturday. 40% chance on Friday and 80% chance on Saturday. So let's just hope that they're wrong and we can get through this weekend, because it's an awesome weekend. The March meet's the best race I've ever been to.
Yeah, a lot of nitromethane.
Oh yeah, tons of it.
Yeah, especially out of you. You got 3 different vehicles to drive.
Yeah, I was gonna drive 3 of them. Now it's down to 2. My friend Cheryl Glenn, her sister passed today, actually, and that's why they're not going to make it. Family's more important to racing any day, so let's go out to the Glens today. For the loss of their loved one.
Yes, condolences go out to the family.
Thanks. So, but the other two are roaring and ready to go. Looks like I've been kind of following on Facebook. Looks like the dragster's all set up, pits are all set up, and everything. It's there. The funny car should be there already. So I'm really excited for this weekend.
Yeah, it should be a great weekend. Like you said, as long as the weather holds up.
Yeah.
Because I know you got the Nitro guys. Nitro Kevin and Brian are coming out there, driving out there, so they want to see some good racing.
Oh yeah, lots of people come from all over the world to see this race. Everywhere, from Germany, from China, and from Japan, from Australia. I mean, literally all over the world just to come see this race, this one and the reunion as well.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, Michael. What got you started in the drag racing?
Well, my dad got me started in drag racing back before I could remember it in the 70s. My dad was taking me to Orange County Raceway and Irwindale, Pomona, and it's all I really knew. I actually have some photos that I took of a couple cars that I drove at Orange County Raceway when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. Got a 110 camera my dad gave me, and he just said, snap away. And I'll never forget, that was before they even made earplugs.
Yeah.
Mom put cotton in my ears. That was my earplugs, She rolled up the cotton and shoved them in my ears and told my dad, make sure they don't come out. Of course, when you get there, the first thing you do is throw them on the ground. But I took pictures of the Power Steel funny car. Anna Candy's in here's funny car. Little did I know, 30-some years later, I'd drive both of those cars.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a big feat, a lot of hard work to get there, and just being a good person, giving 110%, soaking up everything you can possibly soak up and learn, and help anybody that you can possibly help. And you just go right up the ladder. But like I said, it's hard, really hard to get there. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, so it's all been me. A lot of help along the way. So what really got me, my dad's the one that introduced me to racing and everything. And when I was in high school, I didn't work on anything until I was in high school. When I was in high school, I was getting to the point where, the parents got divorced and had a lot of anger built up in me. I was picked on all the time because I was a little kid. And I just decided that nobody's going to pick on me anymore. And I started thumping heads. And I liked it. and I kept thumping heads, and I was getting in big trouble for beating people up. And I was in really big trouble, and I needed to make a decision. I needed to straighten my life up. I had to move in with my grandparents. I had to do something different with my life, and I knew if I didn't do something different that I would get in trouble. Well, I used to live next door to this TNC in La Mirada. It was a speed shop a long time ago that Ronnie Markham owned, and he had some injection connections in there, and I picked one of those up, and I wrote Jim Mayer from Good Vibrations Motorsports a letter, and wanted to know if I seen that he was the president of the California Independent Funny Car Association, and I wanted to know if he could place me on a team, or if he knew somebody that was looking for a young kid that wanted to learn how to work on a funny car and try to be somebody. And he sent me a message back saying that he wanted me on his team. So Jim taught me a lot. He taught me how to tow, how to race, how to drive, how to tune. He taught me a lot. I give him major props for what I know today. He tries to take the modest way out and say, it was all you. Yeah, well, maybe it was all me, but I needed the guidance, and he was that dad that I needed at the time. So with my hard work and dedication to Jim and his team, he's the one that allowed me to get my license to drive in his funny car, and then that was it. From that point on, I was doing anything I could possibly do to get a ride. It was really tough for a while to get a ride. So I decided I'd start collecting parts and eventually build my own car. I finished my own car when I was probably about 24, 25. Was the youngest owner in Sitka, had the youngest team. Made it to a couple of races. We used my car in place of my father-in-law's one race because his car was broken, so we put my car in place of his. And from that point on, I got a ride here, I got a ride there. I started off in a John Blanchard's front engine dragster. Adam Sorokin actually helped me get that ride, and my buddy Diego up there up north where they live at. Those two guys helped get me that ride, and then Ed Lenard came along and said, "I'd like you to drive for me." But it didn't quite work out too well with the Holy Toledo. I needed one more run, and he wouldn't give me that one more run. But then Jeff Gaynor came along and gave me that one run I needed in Mark Stuckey's Daytona Charger with the big wing on the back of it. And then ever since that, I've been pretty much able to get a ride if I need one. Like I said, give 110%, be a good person, and just work your butt off and drive the car with respect, like it's your own car.
Yeah.
I always act like it's my money. I kind of know, I have an advantage over a lot of drivers owning my own car and building it, and I know what it takes to get them to the racetrack. So it makes me a little bit more of a timid driver, a little bit carefuler maybe than what I should be, a little more careful. But if I need to be aggressive, I'll be aggressive, and then that's where I always get in trouble because I'm aggressive when I probably shouldn't be aggressive. But no, it's in my blood, and it's never leaving. I just love this stuff. I live it, eat it, breathe it, and it's what turned my life around. Drag racing. I could have been locked up in jail for fighting for some stupid reason, but instead, I'm drag racing.
So now the first car you ever drag raced in was a dragster?
No, the very first car I ever drove was Jim Mayer's Corvette. It was a McCracken Corvette. It had a 7.8 Corvette body on it. Had a blown alcohol Hemi in it. It was just a mild. It was a stage 3. It was Doug Carolis' block, I believe, that Jim Mayer had bought, and it was the year that he put the supercharger on it. And when I started with him, and I think about a year or 2 years after that, it was 1990 or 1991 is when I actually started licensing in the car. I was able to get my license in a minimum of 6 passes that they require you to do. And I'll tell you, man, the first time I hit the throttle in that thing, I was like, oh, crap, I don't know if I want to do this. And I told my dad, we got back to the pits, and my dad said, well, son, how was it? And, I'm living my dad's dream. And I said, Dad, I don't know if I can do this. And he said, you're going to go tell that man that spent all this money to come up here and get you your license that you can't do this? He said, you need to go take a walk and get it figured out in your head. So I did. I went, took a walk, talked to some people. It made me feel a lot better. And the second run, felt a little bit better. Third run, felt a lot better. In the last 2 runs, I was pretty much hooked. Like, okay, I got this down. I got it. It's not like I thought it was.
And that was what, alcohol injected, you said?
Yeah, this is blown alcohol, and this car. We have a club out here on the West Coast. What's called the California Independent Funny Car Association, and what that is it's affordable racing for people that want to get into funny cars and get their feet wet and maybe move up the ranks, like Clint Thompson. Some people like that have done. There's a lot of people who have started out in this particular class, the California Independent Funny Car Association, and they've moved up in the ranks and went up, up into the pros. Can't think of all of them right now off the top of my head, but so that's what I wanted to do. My parents always told me, you can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it.
Sorry about that, folks. We lost him.
It's about time to celebrate a new year. T-minus 10.
Okay.
You there?
Yeah, we caught drop for some reason. Now, we were talking about the California Funny Car Association.
Yeah. So I was saying, my parents always told me, if whatever you want to do, you put your mind to it, you can do it. And I said, well, I want to be a race car driver. And they said, no, you can't do that. We're not rich. You have to be rich to do this. I said, but you told me whatever I want to put my mind to it, I can do it. And they said, no, that's not. And I said, watch, I'll show you. So I started. I figured out. I actually talked to Johnny West at the racetrack when I was a kid, and I wanted to know, how I needed to get into this. And he said, well, kid, he says, a dually, buy yourself a dually, because there's guys that want to go racing, but they don't have a way to get their operation to the racetrack. He told me, learn how to build the car, learn how to fabricate. He says, if somebody wants your car up, they might not be able to fix it. That's another way you can get a ride. You can say, hey, I can fix it for you if you let me drive it. Different things like that. So I started off working for the very first race car job I had was Bogey Race Cars. It was back in probably 88 or 89. Worked there for a couple of years and then moved on to the Brad Anderson Enterprises. I didn't do very well there, but I did learn a lot on how to build an engine, top fuel, top alcohol from scratch. The machine does all the work, and all the programmers are the ones with the brains. You just put the block in there, center everything, push the go button, and then it spits out. And then the hardest thing that you have to do in building engines from scratch is porting the heads, getting all the CCs curved all the same, exactly the same. Making sure that your valve clearances are exact, all that stuff. That's all of the hard stuff. But I learned all that kind of stuff from working there, and then experience too. Working on the funny car with Jim Mayer. Wasn't driving yet, but was working on it, learning